Week 9 on the WSB brings the reigning champions, the ASTANA ARLANS Kazakhstan, to the house of the CUBA DOMADORES in Havana at the Ciudad Deportiva for more action from the World Series of Boxing as the two superpowers in Group B prepare to go head-to-head with the season playoffs looming in the none-too-distant future. Well, in bout 1, a light flyweight contest between Yozbani Vetia and Termitas Zushipov. It was an interesting contest, and it was pretty much team orders for the ARLANS. Coach Kozienska is saying, come forward, keep attacking. And before we knew it, Batia had a real fight on his hands, but that's when the Cuban class started to come through. And in the end, managing to come away with the points decision, but it wasn't through lack of effort from Zushipov. So Cuba getting off to the perfect start. The next fight out at bantamweight, well, Baghdad Alimbekov was the big hope for the ARLANS this evening, but he was up against the rangy Forestal, who made his 1.75 m height advantage count. Kept Alimbekov pretty much at distance for the whole of this fight, and Alimbekov just couldn't get to his man. And as the fight moved on, Forestal able to put together some very nice combinations, some ferocious punching in the end from the Cuban. And that produced another points decision in favour of Cuba to make it 2-0 on the evening. Next out, another debutant for Kazakhstan. Ruslan Madiev would have his work cut out against Yaznir Toledo. And Toledo, once again, took time to settle into this fight. Madiev refused to stop coming forward. But Toledo, with some really accurate work, managing to pick his man off. Madiev just didn't get through on enough occasions to convince the judges about his work. And it was Toledo that made it the win on the evening. So despite anything that Kazakhstan could do for the rest of the day, it was going to go the way of the CUBA DOMADORES. So a 3-0 lead as Yarek Aljanov came to the ring against this man. Ramon Luis, world ranked #2 in his debut season, as all the Cuban boxers are this year, with their debut seasons just climbing up the rankings. But Aljanov, once again, following the team orders. It was attack, attack, front foot all the time. And just be prepared to be picked off. And then, as we moved through the bout, things started to get very tasty indeed. Both men managing to land some decent shots. A little nick opened up just above the right eye of Ramon Luis. And in round 4, that was to prove decisive. And as the fight progressed, that cut, that mark above Ramon Luis's eye got worse, and then a clash of heads meant that both men got cut. And the doctor advising the referee to call a halt. It was a pretty nasty injury to Ramon Luis, but because both men were marked, the points stood, and Ramon Luis making it 4-0 to Cuba, but a concern about the rest of his season with that cut. The final man out then in the heavyweight contest for both countries, Arabek Abduganiev for Kazakhstan, just outclassed in this one against the world #1, Arislandi Savon, who really did look the part. A little frustrating for the Domadores man because he just couldn't put this one away, despite some great shots. And Abduganiev did very well to take this one through 3 rounds. Looks like he was going to step out for the 4th, but his coach said no, that's enough punishment for this evening. And Arislandi Savon picking up his 5th win of a very impressive season indeed. And the CUBA DOMADORES march on. 5-0 victory on the evening. The DOMADORES here in Havana managed to tame the wolves of Kazakhstan.
ASTANA ARLANS de Kazajstán.